Hi, and welcome to Animal Zone. I'm Arthur von Wiesenberger, and this handsome fellow is Mikey, my adopted pit bull. Animal Zone is the A to Z on everything about adoptable pets. Whether you're looking for a bird, a cat, a dog, or even a tortoise, we've got experts who can share their knowledge and insights. So cuddle up with your favorite critter and join us as we explore the Animal Zone. Well, this week on Animal Zone, we're going to go to ResQCats and talk with Jeffyne Telson all about cats' sense. They have incredible senses, and we're going to find out and try and make sense of it all. Then Laura Stinchfield, the pet psychic, is taking us over to the Meadow Farm here in Hope Ranch, and we're going to meet some horses, some ponies, and even a miniature horse, and find out what they're thinking. Then later on, we're going to the Animal Shelter Assistance Program, also known as ASAP, and find out about their Tiny Lions program. Now, tiny lions are feral kitties that are getting ready for their forever homes. So we got a lot of great things going on in this week's Animal Zone. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Bonjour Alex.
Bonjour Renaud.
Happiness? It's great food prepared the French way.
Chocolate eclair.
What makes you happy?
A touch of Paris.
Without the trip to France. Handcrafted daily in our bakeries, especially for you. Indulge yourself.
Bon appétit.
Please visit Renaud's in Gelston, Santa Barbara, Long Beach, and La Cañada, Flint Ridge.
The Santa Barbara Humane Society is an independent, local, community-based nonprofit with adoptable animals ready to find a forever home today.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we provide low-cost spay and neuter services and vaccinations. It's important for your dogs and cats to get vaccinated to prevent illnesses. And spay and neuter surgeries help prevent unwanted pregnancies and can benefit the health of your pet.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we want you to adopt, not chop.
Well, today on Animal Zone, we're at one of our favorite spots, ResQCats, with the president, Jeffyne Telson, and Yoda. Tell me about Yoda.
Well, Yoda is a permanent resident. Yoda wasn't really considered adoptable. He was one very sick little kitten when he was a tiny tot, and has a chronic runny nose and runny eyes. We've done antibiotics. His snot actually has been sent around the nation trying to figure out if an antibiotic would work. None of them did. He's had sinus surgery to drain everything, but nothing was there. So his infection was just so bad that the scar tissue grew back funny, and so he has a little snort, and he always has a little runny nose, so we call him our snotty-nosed kid. He's about 8 or 9.
And he has a great rumble when he purrs.
He does,
like right now.
he does. A little growl, too.
Yeah, almost. Well, it's amazing about cats and their senses. I mean, he's obviously had some issues growing up, but they seem to adopt depending on what happens. But I didn't realize how incredible their senses are, from their sense of sight, which is, I mean, they have big eyes for that little head.
They do, but for some reason they can even see at night much better than we can, and I understand that they only see the colors blue and yellow, which kind of explains why they have their own agenda. They don't see green for go and red for stop.
And they have incredible sense of hearing, don't they?
They do. In fact, all these little hairs in their ears also help to put the sound down into their ear. They can rotate their ears in every direction. It's not just a behavior thing that when they have flat ears that they're scared, but they're highly functioning, and they hear much better than we do, which is one more reason between the sight and the ears that they do so well with hunting.
Yeah, because they can probably hear mice when we can't hear them, or bats.
Right,
even.
and then add smell to that, and you've got a real little hunter on your hands.
All right, so that nose, it's like a dog, right? I mean, I hate to say, you're like a dog, but you've got the sense of smell like a dog, that you have all these receptors in your nose. You can smell so many different things. I think, there's like zillions of different senses.
And to you and me, that would be over sensory.
Yeah,
but for cats and for dogs, it works for them.
Now I notice right now we can see how he's rubbing himself. He rubs himself on you. He rubs himself on the basket. What's he doing when he rubs his mouth across?
He has scent glands that are located under here, and he is marking me as if I belong to him. He does the same thing on objects. Ouch. He does the same thing on objects to mark them as his territory, and you will see them, even big cats in the wild will do that, and the next cat comes along and they can tell that another one has already been there. So it is a territorial behavior.
They also have a great sense of balance, right?
Yes.
I mean, we've always seen cats walk across these little tiny fence edges, and you wonder, how do they even do it? And gosh, I hope they don't fall. But what is it? Is it in their inner ear they have a
I don't
system?
know if it is. I would assume that is a big part of it. But, they say a cat can always land on its feet, and for the most part, that's true. If you've ever watched videos where a cat falls and it's upside down and how it rights itself in midair, it's just amazing.
Wow, that is incredible. And I gather sometimes these cats have fallen from significant heights and walked away from it.
Yep, absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Now, catnip. I've often seen cats who get very excited around catnip, and and then there's other cats who couldn't care less about it. What's it about catnip, and what does it do to a cat?
To put it bluntly, it gives them a real high. And like you said, not all of them respond to catnip, but the ones that do, it's so funny to watch. And it also, when a cat does respond to catnip, if they're scared or they're shy, I have seen my little feral cat that lives here at ResQCats just literally roll over on his back. He has no inhibitions at all. He rolls in it, and it just seems to it's a real high for him, and then it relaxes him, and he is just out.
I mean, you see it in stores, you see it both in toys, and even fresh catnip that you can take home for your cat.
Yeah.
And
they can eat it as well.
But are we creating a problem? Is there got to be a Betty Ford for catnips?
I don't think so.
So it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. But you do want to get a high quality catnip like anything else, so that they do respond to it. It's a great little tool for cats that are clawing furniture or not scratching appropriately. If you do a little catnip on a cat tree such as this, it will encourage them to go over and to use that instead of your couch, because we certainly don't want to declaw cats. Cats have a lot of sensory in the pads of their feet and also in their claws. Not that we would ever find a reason to declaw a cat anyway, but that is just one of the many.
Jeffyne, you are the cat queen. I appreciate all the great information you share with us here on Animal Zone, and thank you for coming. And for this little guy, Yoda, we love you.
Yeah,
what
Yoda.
A great guy.
He's a piece of work, that's for sure.
Like all cats, huh?
Yeah.
They are amazing.
Yeah, they're all different. They're all very different. And I think one of the things that I've learned in my years of rescue is to honor each one and who they are and what they're all about. A little bit off the subject, but when you have the residents that we have at ResQCats, you want to do everything for them when they get sick. So not all of them are going to allow that. I have one here that has kidney issues, but heaven forbid she would never allow me to do fluids on her. So I honor that about her. And then I have another one that gets fluids once a week, and she purrs through the whole thing. So I think the appreciation of each one and who they are and what they're all about, catnip or no catnip, is part of the message that we'd like to get out there.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Jeffyne, for having us today.
Well,
here.
thank you.
And we're going to leave ResQCats and take a break, but we'll be back with more Animal Zone coming right up.
Hello everyone, I'm Peter Noon, and this is Lola, and this is Lucy, and we're all here watching Animal Zone. It's our favourite. Sometimes our tongues come out while we're watching it like this.
Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Every morning you could count on it being there with the rise of the sun. We're proud to say we've been there every day with you. The Santa Barbara News Press plans to continue sharing the news of the day with you all through the year and beyond. It's nice to know there are some things you can still count on. The Santa Barbara News Press, serving Santa Barbara since 1855.
Subscribe today. Call 1-800-654-3292.
Imagine, if you will, a zone where animals can talk to humans. Submitted for your amazement, the Pet Psychic, as we enter the Animal Zone. Well, today on Animal Zone, we are at the Meadow Farm and Hope Ranch, a beautiful place for animals to really enjoy their life. And we've got Laura Stinchfield, the Pet Psychic, who's going to talk to, I don't know, some horses. I think I hear them announcing you've arrived.
Yeah, they hear me coming.
Yeah, and we've also going to meet their trainer, Erin, and I think we've also got a body massage therapist specialist for horses. So it's going to be really an interesting time.
Oh, it's going to be a great time.
Are you ready to tune in?
I'm ready, always.
Okay, let's walk over and say hello to them. So here we are with Erin Mellville, who's the trainer here at Meadow Farm, and you've got some beautiful creatures next to us. Tell us who they are.
So this is Cappuccino. He was an ex-show pony, and this is Moxie. He's a little miniature horse rescue.
He was rescued. Where was he rescued from?
He was rescued. His owner actually passed away, and he was kind of getting bullied by the other minis and actually a goat. So Beth rescued him, and now he's here. He's been here for a long time.
Wow.
Oh, he doesn't like that story.
And is he always going to stay that size?
He is. He's fully grown. He's adult.
He's an adult.
He's little.
Okay. How old do you think he is?
Probably about 10, 12, something like that.
And do miniatures last a long time?
Yeah, I think they do. They last...
Like horses?
Yes.
Kind of same thing?
Yeah.
20, 30 years?
Or more, maybe.
Maybe more?
Maybe even more, yeah.
Yeah.
Ponies and minis tend to live longer than big horses.
I had a pony that lived to 50.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, love bug.
Oh my gosh.
So you had him before you were born, you had him then, right?
No, I rescued her, actually. She was an ex-show pony, too.
Oh.
Yeah, from Madison Square Garden.
Oh. Well, Laura, what do you think? You got any feeling that we got to talk
let's ask
here?
him. So we wanted to ask him, right, like he's a little bit naughty sometimes?
Yes.
And what does he do?
So we jog him around so he doesn't get too overweight. And he sometimes will just run straight into you, run past you, pull through your hands, just kind of like want to run away.
Oh, so let's ask him. Like,
yeah, I know.
He says the first thing he wants to say is that this home is friendly to all animals. That's good. Oh, is that just here? No, he did. He said the other thing he wants to say is that you don't have to look cute in order to be loved. Well, you kind of look really cute. Were you worried about that? He said in the past he wasn't the cutest one.
Oh.
I think you might be the cutest one here. Ooh, he says sometimes he runs into people for fun.
Oh, Moxie.
For fun? But it knocks people over. It could be dangerous because you're strong. He says it's what miniature horses do to play. It's a little bit, maybe you could do it like a little lighter because you have so much power behind you. You're so strong that it can hurt. So maybe if you did it a little bit lighter and then stay with her, not pull her over, because if you pull her over, she might hurt her back. You don't want to hurt her back, do you? He says he doesn't kick or buck or rear.
No, he does not.
Yeah, that's good. He said that he had chickens live in the stall with him once.
No. We do have chickens here. We have
Do they come
a
in the
bunch of
stall?
chickens. Not usually. They live all the way out in pasture, but maybe at one point.
Or maybe at his old home.
Yeah.
He wonders if he could say something. Sure, you can say anything you want. He says sometimes he feels like he doesn't get enough hay and he thinks that's unfair.
Oh. Well, he did used to get a lot of hay, but then
now he's on a diet.
He got so big that,
you
it
used to
wasn't
get
good.
a lot of hay, but you're on
I know.
a diet
He's a
now.
chubby man.
Maybe if you ran really nice with your exerciser and your friend. He says, look at that belly, it's not that big.
It's not anymore, it was. Yeah, it was, huh?
Hi. Do you remember when it was big, huh? Oh, he thinks he would do really well with lots of carrot tops.
Maybe he's right. Oh, buddy. He is so funny.
You sound like you'd be so much fun. I want you to be a little bit nicer to your friend who runs with you, okay? Maybe you could just be really conscious of where your body is. You'll think about it? Good boy. Good boy.
What about Ben here? It looks like they all want to talk to
Hi, Ben. What do you think, Ben? You don't want to be carried backwards? What does that mean? Oh, he says sometimes when you go out with him, he doesn't want you to carry him backwards. Do you know what that means?
Backwards. No, sometimes he likes to perch up on my shoulder. Maybe he wants to be like all the way forwards.
Yeah, but if you're perched up on mommy's shoulder, then you are going back. But I can't see. But you can't see?
Oh.
Okay, well, Mom will try and figure out how to do that.
We should explain that Ben is an adopted rescue dog
he is.
by Erin, right?
Yeah.
And Erin, where did you get?
I got him at the Santa Barbara Humane Society, and he's 6 years old or so, they think. And he's really good with the horses, surprisingly.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I'm not sure if in his past life before I met him, he was a barn dog, but he seems like he could have been.
He says he wants a warmer sweater, too.
Ben, that sweater was expensive.
It's very beautiful. Maybe he just needs a tight one underneath, and then he can wear that one on top.
Do you need a turtleneck, buddy?
Well, Moxie, we got to take a break, okay? But we want to meet some of your bigger pals here at Meadow Farm. So we'll be right back after these words. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Care for Paws was started in 2009 with the goal to reduce pet overpopulation and keep animals out of shelters, and also to ensure that pets can stay with their owners for life. We, from the get-go, established a free spay and neuter program that would help low-income pet owners fix their pets. So we provide shots, microchips, dewormer, flea treatment. We also have a veterinary intervention program. It's a way for us to help improve the quality of life for the animal as well for the owner, because when an animal suffers in the family, so does the rest of the family.
And we're back here on Animal Zone at Meadow Farm with Erin, with Blue, with Alexandria, and Laura Stinchfield, the pet psychic. Now tell me a little bit about Blue.
So this is Blue. His show name is Memphis, and he is a veteran of the horse show world. He did all of the adult hunters with his owner Beth, and then he did all the children's hunters with her daughter Annie, and he loved it. He won everything. He was such a champion. He is 22 and now retired. I ride him about 2 to 3 times a week just to get him out and in shape and stuff. And yeah, he is a really good boy, and he loves apples. Loves them. Loves them.
Now, a show horse has a lot of exercise. It
Yes.
does a lot of work. It probably has a few injuries or a few aches and pains, right?
I think maybe.
Is that where Alexandria comes in?
Yes, she is a massage therapist for our horses.
How does that work, Alexandria?
So I'm a human massage therapist. I'm nationally board certified, and I grew up in Germany with horses, so I wanted it to transfer it to the horses. And horses can get stress points like we do, like trigger points, from jumping and trailering. I work with a lot of show horses, 3-day renters, who have muscle problems. A lot is in the shoulders. Right here, there's a big muscle, the serratus. There's a lot of fascial tissue. So they can get a lot of stress points in here. They get a lot of stress points right here as the last rib. There is a really big point right in here, an acupressure point, and that releases the back, and you can see he's already getting a little relaxed. He likes it.
Yeah, if you can see he's lowering his head and sort of closing his eyes a little bit.
It all depends. I figured out a lot of horses have the same problem. A lot is in the shoulders, a lot is in the pelvic. Some of them, the jumpers and the dressage horses get really tight hamstrings. So there is, right here is the ischium. So underneath here is an attachment. So I do cross fiber, direct pressure. We do compressions and stretches, and rotations, and I got a release from him, the licking.
So is it a little bit like acupuncture or acupressure where you're dealing with
some,
meridians?
There's the back, the bladder meridian goes all over here, over the whole horse down here. So sometimes I start with that one really slow. And then there is that, blue. There's an acupressure point. He doesn't like it that much because he likes to go.
I know.
There's one right here. It releases the pole. And then there's the one on the back I always use, and then I do the bladder points on the backs after I worked on them. And then we do compressions. And so the spine of the horses, the cervical spine is down here. So they can get it. This is a really long muscle. And it touches on the femur, brings the leg forward. So in a lot of dressage horses who are really tight, they can get really tight in this muscle. And so then I do cross fiber, do compressions, and afterwards they move like and swing.
So how long is a usual treatment?
Usually an hour, yeah.
Wow, lucky Blue.
See, he's happy.
Yeah, I can see.
Did you like it? Oh.
Well, maybe Laura can kind of tell us what he's thinking about all this.
Yeah, so what do you think? Oh, he said that when she was touching down by his hind end, that he not only felt a surge of love, but an energy popping and release.
Oh, wow, that's why he was
Oh, he said he wanted you to know that all the horses know when you're coming.
Oh.
Like, we get excited for it. We get excited for it.
Oh.
He said one of the things that people don't understand about show horses is that they're athletes and they don't have boyfriends to rub them down.
Oh.
That's why they need you.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
He says that, that the one thing about show horses is that they work really hard for their people. And when their people do things like get them body work, the animals, the horses, feel like they're appreciated and that their people are grateful for what they do for them.
Oh, good.
That's really beautiful.
Does he like getting these awards and
Yeah, what did you think?
photographs?
Did you like winning? Because you won a lot and you trucked around children, which is so cool.
Yeah, he loves
that you
it.
were safe with kids. Did you enjoy your job in your life? Oh, he says that he's been very fortunate that he's had Beth, his owner and his person, because she has a lot of heart. And when you have an owner that has a lot of heart, it's easier for the horses to have a lot of heart and to do their best and want to do their best. But he says he has a lot of friends that were in the show world, horses, that people didn't have a lot of heart for their horses and just used them to win. And he said those horses really sort of struggled.
Well, Alexandra and Laura, and of course Erin, thank you so much for coming on Animal Zone. And Blue, you've been a beautiful animal. Thank you for being here. Yes, we enjoyed you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Animal Zone. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My grandfather taught me about the beauty of the rugs. Each one tells a story. Story about the person who wove it, the person who bought it, the person who inherits it, the person who treasures it. It's amazing how simply looking at an object can bring you back to a different place and time, or remind you of someone you love. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we want to help you find a rug that will travel through time with your family for generations to come. Visit us at 410 Oliver Street and find your treasure today.
The Santa Barbara County Animal Care Foundation is dedicated to saving animals' lives, but we need your help to continue this critical work. SBCACF provides year-round medical and surgical care so that abandoned, homeless, or abused animals receive the best second chance at finding a loving home.
No animal is turned away from surgical care.
To learn more and assist us in keeping that pledge, visit sbcanimalcare.org and make a donation today.
If they can be saved,
we want to save them.
We're here at ASAP with Barb, who is the Behavior Programs Director, and they have a program called Tiny Lions.
Yes.
What's Tiny Lions?
Tiny lions are feral kittens. We've been doing this on a large scale for about 4.5 years now. We'd always had a process for taming feral kittens, a few at a time, and one day we realized we had 25 of them. And thought, wow, we need a program. So We put together a training plan, simplified our training down to 4 simple steps, and recruited a whole bunch of our volunteers to come in and socialize these feral kittens.
Feral kittens start out frightened of people, right?
Yes, and if you see these little guys here, these guys are halfway through the program. They have calmed down to the point they're still terrified of us, but they're eating baby food from us. And this is the point we're slowly trying to teach them, first of all, to trust us, but also teach them that only good things happen when people are around. You know, when they get trapped, they go through a lot of real traumatic experiences and find themselves in a cage. And now we're trying to show that whenever people are here, look, wonderful things. They're getting baby food, doesn't get much better than that. And so we go through 4 steps. First, we feed them baby food off a chopstick, where we're far back from them and not intruding. And once they're comfortable with that, then we start feeding them baby food from our finger, which lets our hands start approaching them and calms them down a little more in our presence. And then we start using that finger to draw them to the front of the cage a little bit at a time to get the baby food. Again, we're just bribing them with food, but that's how you do cats. And then finally, the last of the 4 steps is to actually touch them. And we need them to be very comfortable with us by the time we get there. And all of a sudden, we have purring little baby kittens. It's amazing. The goal of our program is to teach them not just to accept human interaction, but to actually seek it. And so in just over 4 years, we have socialized and adopted out 417 kittens. I just looked at our data the other night.
So with a feral cat or kitten, what's the window of opportunity?
So we rarely will start to train over 4 months of age. And this is based on their brain development. After 4 months, it's much more difficult, the way their brain is developing, for them to start that bonding process with humans. We have taken a few that showed a little promise and actually had success. And we've tried it on a couple just because they were so cute, and it just didn't work. So if they are too old, well, we have another program. We got a program for everything around here, and that's our working cat program. And we place cats that are feral, including the kittens, once they get old enough, as mousers in various places around town. Wineries, nurseries, barns. Sometimes people just have an acre or 2 and varmints, and they're looking for cats that will help control them.
This is fantastic. Well, Barb, you guys are just doing amazing work here, and the little tiny lions are just roaring with success, and I congratulate you guys for doing it all. And we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got more Animal Zone.
Hi, I'm Carrie Burns, and I'm the Executive Director for the Santa Barbara Humane Society. And what we want you to know is that Humane Societies are local to each community. No one is associated with the National Humane Society. So when you donate or you adopt, know that everything that you touch is right there in your own backyard. We want you to donate, volunteer, and adopt. For more information, visit sbhumanesociety.org.
Weren't there some amazing animals and guests? You know, you who adopt animals from shelters, you are the true heroes. If you want to see more about AnimalZone and other things, check out our website, AnimalZone.org, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Never was a friend so true, never was a friend like you. Canine, you're my best friend. Canine of mine, friend for all time. So glad you're my best friend. Through thick and thin, we'll see things through. Canine of mine, so true. Did I find you or did you find me? Either way, it's still serendipity. When I saw you, it was plain to see you weren't just another lassie wannabe. Oh, canine of mine, friend for all time. I'm so glad you're my best friend.